Garden is still asleep, but let's discuss my 2019 garden plans. Because of my injury, falling and surgery and all that stuff since December 13th, I've put off starting my seeds. Normally, I've already started seeds down in the basement in the furnace room where it's really warm and I have lights set up. Normally I've started seeds, probably a month ago, but this year I've put it off because I'm still recovering and still a lot of pain to use my hand. But April 1st, I plan to start seeds. When I don't have time to get started, I'll just buy baby plants from the local nursery. So remember, the goal in life is not perfection. Sometimes you need a plan B. I love starting seeds. You know that I like to save my own seeds. But buying plants, that is a good plan B. My Christmas gift from Dale was a gift card, plus other money that I got for Christmas. We also put it on a gift card for buying plants. Man, it's been windy lately, and we've got some damage. Some of my row covers that I cover my vegetables in the winter have been ruined, so I'm going to have to replace them next year. Now, before I fell and hurt myself, I was harvesting under the row covers every day, but I haven't touched them since December. But hopefully in April, when I take them off, we're going to have some vegetables still growing. Well, I know we will, but which ones? It'll be like a surprise. Now you know my gardening success secret is sheet mulching in the fall with cardboard and then mulching with free leaves. They break down, they block the weeds, and they feed the soil. It's been so windy, the cardboard's been blowing off and the leaves are everywhere. And that doesn't normally happen. The last few years it's been fine. We've had a lot of wind. Now you've seen the glass, it's called a cold frame. I plan to build more. Remember Dale found the free bricks? And I have more glass in the garage, so when we see free windows or free glass doors, we snatch them up. So it depends on how my hand's doing, on how I'm feeling in April. But for sure this summer, we'll work on building more cold frames. Typically, by April, I've moved my tomato and pepper plants and my sunflowers out into the cold frame. This year, I don't know if I'll be using them, but they are an investment in the future. The tulips are poking up. It's exciting. The daffodils, I don't see them anywhere. I think they're stuck under the leaves. I probably need to rescue them. In the front, though, we have some coming up. I'll show you later. The blueberries, they're poking through. And the raspberries and the blackberries, they'll all come back. Last year I built kind of a wooden support system for the berries. Some animal destroyed it. I think it was a cat, a neighborhood cat, chasing some mice or something. The wood just kind of tumbled down, but that's fine. Let the animals use all these little places for their homes. Strawberries survived the winter, and we have two different varieties. Near the house, we have June-bearing strawberries. They only make fruit once in the summer, and they tend to be a little bit bigger. Then close to the garage, we have Everbearing Strawberries. They produce fruit the whole summer, but they tend to be a little bit smaller. Later, I hope to be able to pass out some free strawberry plants. I'll snip off the baby runners and share. The garlic I planted October, November, it's doing great. It'll be ready later this summer. Now the water barrels, they're all empty right now. We don't want them to freeze. And the spigots are open. But in April, it's a good time to reseal around the faucets. We don't want them to be leaking. Now it's important in the spring to get them filled up and ready, because by the time you need the water, there's no rain. So when you don't need the water, because it's raining in the spring, but that's the time to get them filled. We have 3 in the back, and I think 4 more on the side of the house that I'll show you later. Now all those dead plants you see laying around, those are old flowers that still had seed heads on them. In the winter I leave them, and the birds eat the seed heads. Now the seeds are all gone, and later on a warm day I'll cut them all up and spread them out. It's called chop and drop. When plants die, you just chop them up and spread them around. It feeds the soil. Now weed plants with seeds, no, those go into the compost. Every year I share plants with church, and last year I started sharing with the neighborhood. I set up some shelves in the alley with a little sign saying free plants. I think last year tomatoes, peppers, flowers. This year with church in the neighborhood, for sure I'll be sharing sunflowers. I'll have time to get those started because they grow quickly. I don't know if I'm going to have time for tomatoes and peppers and other flowers, or things like basil. If I have time, since I plant in April, if they have time to grow, they might be small, but I'll share them. And I'm hoping to be able to share strawberries too. I tend to share at church around Mother's Day. Here in Maryland, you plant your warm season vegetables on Mother's Day. On April 1st, I'm going to direct sow some seeds outside, directly in the dirt. Things like lettuce, radishes, greens, cilantro, cool loving plants. They still have time to grow. But things like cabbage and broccoli and cauliflower, you should have started those indoors already last month. So if I plant, I'm going to have to buy those. Come on, let's go in the front. That's compost. It's ready. And when it warms up, we'll spread it out in the garden. So the front is very small. You saw the little green with the yellow tips poking through? Those are daffodils. Farther back I have asparagus. I'm curious if it's going to come up. Last year it was new. Is it going to grow again? I don't know. I haven't seen any yet. Typically in the front I plant a mixture of flowers and vegetables. Yeah, I plant vegetables in the front because it gets the most sun and it gets the most heat. And if I'm going to save seeds, you have to be careful because some seeds will mix with other seeds, like sweet peppers, I tend to do in the back. And hot peppers, I tend to plant in the front. If I'm going to save the seeds, I don't want the hot peppers to mix with the sweet peppers. Because the next year, the seeds that I've saved from the sweet peppers will be crossed with the hot peppers and they'll be hot. Same with squash. 2 different kinds of squash can cross. So I'll put some in the front and some in the back. Tomatoes, they don't cross as easily, but I still tend to do one kind at the front and one kind in the back. Yes, sometimes people do steal the vegetables, but that's fine. I have plenty. And I like to show the neighborhood you can grow food anywhere. I love to find yards where they've planted food in the front. I always plant really tall mammoth sunflowers in the front. That's my reputation. It is cold, so let's get inside and I'm going to show you the basement and my seeds. Ooh, look. So the furnace room, it's a perfect place to start seeds. The furnace is still running and it's warm. Let me show you, oh, and the lights, I've set them up on a timer. Let me show you my seed cabinet. I just remembered I have a whole bunch of seeds upstairs, but I'll show those to you. Let me show you how I organize. Most of those seeds I've saved myself. Some of them I bought and put them in the little jars. I love saving seeds. Okay, that was a short update on the garden. See you later. Bye-bye. Love you.